Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Rhonda Collier, the Director of the TU Global Office and Professor of Modern Language and Communication. Welcome to Tuskegee University, and welcome to this historic event with the United States Agency of International Development. We welcome our friends and colleagues, and we welcome Administrator Samantha Power. We have an exciting event planned for you today, our Memorandum of Understanding underneath the Minority Initiative with USAID today. It is an event that has been in the working for the last 2 years with my friend now and colleague Alexis Butler, the Deputy Administrator for Resilience and Food Security Bureau of the United States of USAID. I want to thank all my colleagues here at Tuskegee University who've worked tireless with me, particularly Dean Chana Prakash, Dr. April Jones, there she is, from Social Work, the Chair of Social Work, and also Dean Olga Bolden-Tiller, and my boss, Dean Jelani, and the support of our fearless and tireless 9th president of Tuskegee University, Charlotte P. Morris. And then thank you to the students who are here this afternoon who represent why we're all here. So thank you, Tuskegee students, and thank you to our new provost, Keith Hargrove, who's now joining us in the month of January. And just thank you, everyone, for supporting our initiatives that benefit our students. Speaking of our students, our student today, the president of the TU chapter of MANARS, Morgan Banks, a graduating senior in animal science, will do the introductory comments for today's MOU signing. And you all have programs, hopefully, and after Morgan's comments, we will have the signing of the MOU and then comments from Administrator Samantha Power, and comments from Dr. Charlotte P. Morris, and then a presentation to our friends. Once again, welcome to Tuskegee University. Happy New Year for those of us that have not seen each other in person in the year 2022. And I will turn the floor over to our wonderful student leader, Ms. Morgan Banks. Once again, welcome and thank you for being here this morning.
Greetings. I am Morgan Banks, a senior animal science major from Decatur, Georgia, and I would like to welcome everyone to the MOU signing. On behalf of the Tuskegee University students, I would like to say thank you to the USAID for being here on our illustrious campus and making an impact on our students. I would like to acknowledge our 9th president, Dr. Charlotte P. Morris. She is our 2nd female president, and we are very honored to have her here today. The purpose of this ceremony is to increase the American public's understanding of the international development issues and understanding of the U.S. research community's impact. This partnership would help to increase and diversify the talent pool of experts that work on these issues. Today, we will be hearing from USAID Administrator Samantha Power. Samantha Power was sworn into office as the 19th Administrator of USAID on May 3, 2021. She earned a bachelor's from Yale University and a JD from Harvard Law School. From 2009 to 2013, Power served on the National Security Council staff as Special Assistant to the President and Senior Director for Multilateral Affairs and Human Rights. At the USAID, Power will focus on helping the United States respond to 4 interconnected challenges: the COVID-19 pandemic and the development gains it has imperiled, climate change, conflict and humanitarian crisis, and democratic backsliding. She is the first USAID administrator to be a member of the National Security Council, where she will ensure that development plays a critical role in America's responses to a range of economic, humanitarian, and geopolitical issues. Please help me to introduce to you Administrator Samantha Power.
Good morning, everybody. and hello to everybody on the live stream. Good to have you. Thank you, Morgan, for the introduction, and thank you for your leadership of Tuskegee's chapter of Minorities in Agriculture, Natural Resources, and Related Sciences, a crucial national organization for the advancement of underrepresented students and researchers in the sciences, and one with whom USAID is proud to have signed a memorandum of understanding last year. Dr. Olga Bolden-Tiller, whom I spent some time with earlier, serves as the national president of that organization and as Tuskegee's Dean of the College of Agriculture, Environment, and Nutrition Sciences. It means a lot to have you with us here today as well. I'd like to thank Dr. Rhonda Collier, the director of the Global Office here, for her really hard work in making today's Memorandum of Understanding between the university and USAID a reality. And thanks, of course, to Tuskegee President, Dr. Charlotte Morris, and to the assembled vice presidents, deans, board of trustees, and student leaders who are present here this morning. I also want to join others in singling out Alexius Butler, the driving force behind USAID's partnerships with HBCUs, and Jim Barnhart, Assistant Administrator for Resilience and Food Security, who has made diversity, equity, inclusion, and accommodation a core priority for the Bureau for Resilience and Food Security, and is really helping us drive our DEIA agenda at USAID. So really grateful to you as well, Jim and Alexius. Before I begin, I just want to acknowledge the deeply disturbing and unsettling reports of bomb threats made at several of our nation's HBCUs this morning. It is despicable to think that in 2022, our nation's best and brightest Black students, staff, and intellectuals are made to fear simply because they are present at institutions that welcome and nurture them as they so deserve. I can say personally that I feel so privileged and frankly so moved just to be walking these grounds and to be here with all of you at Tuskegee. I've had a busy 10 days of travel recently, trying to support U.S. efforts to shore up the fragile peace in Bosnia and Herzegovina, traveling with Vice President Harris, America's first woman vice president, as you well know, to attend the inauguration of Honduras's first female president, and now my third trip in the last fortnight to Tuskegee. You might be saying to yourself, one of these trips is not like the other, but I believe they are inextricably related. I'm here today because I believe that Tuskegee, which has long made profound contributions to American life, has even more to offer the broader world than we have tapped so far. I believe that the expertise that resides here at Tuskegee, this keystone of Black history, can help Bosnian farmers nourish their soils and sell more vegetables for export. I believe that that expertise can help provide Honduran families more nutritious food for their children to fight malnutrition. And those are just a couple of examples of all that this community has to offer the broader world. It is here in this place where the triumphs and the terrors of the Black experience resound like few other places on earth. It was here that Black scientists remade agriculture and restored the soil of the South back to health after it was drained by the cotton trade. Here that Black fighter pilots first took to the sky, and also here that innocent Black people trusted their health to their government only to become unwitting subjects in a wicked experiment. Through it all, the story of Tuskegee has been one of resilience, of uplift, of tapping into Black excellence to lift the prospects and prosperity of marginalized populations and peoples of African descent. Since its founding, that story has taken many forms, from enriching the lives of the students and staff who walk through these halls, to expanding the reach of cutting-edge agricultural and technical science throughout this country. And although Tuskegee's impact has never remained contained within America's borders. Indeed, today I learned about George Washington Carver's travels with students to Togo in 1897 to strengthen local crop production. Today, nonetheless, there is an opportunity like never before to extend the reach of this institution's talent and brilliance to any corner of the globe where poverty reigns, hunger looms, and a changing climate unwinds the lives of the overlooked and marginalized. We know it is possible to tap into agricultural productivity to lift people up from poverty, because that is the story of Tuskegee's founding. Earlier this morning, I had the honor of paying my respects at the graves of Booker T. Washington and George Washington Carver. It was Washington who, having been born into slavery himself, left home at age 16 on foot to seek an education, learning the practical value of agriculture at the Hampton Institute. And it was he who hired Carver, then a nationally renowned botanist, to run the agricultural department at this institution, a man who would become one of the most famous scientists, not black scientists, but famous scientists of the 20th century. In the classroom and in the fields surrounding us, Carver taught Americans the value of crop rotation, new techniques that could boost productivity and help transition the South's agriculture from soil-depleting cotton to soil-restoring sweet potatoes, soybeans, and peanuts. But he didn't just teach the students of Tuskegee. Carver was committed to empowering the impoverished black sharecroppers of this country, engaging anyone who wanted to learn about the basics of agriculture. I love the quote from Carver that I happened upon on our walk to this building a few minutes ago. I just scribbled it down. No individual has any right to come into the world and go out of it without leaving behind him distinct and legitimate reasons for having passed through it. That's a high bar. We're doing our best here, but I love the ambition in that, and that is what, of course, permeates this campus. While there was only one George Washington Carver, I can't tell you how many farmers there are out there in the world right now, far from here, who are asking themselves the same questions he posed about crop diversification, for example, wondering, how can I grow more food with less water? How do I protect my crops and my livestock from pests and diseases? How can I produce predictable yields with unpredictable weather? These are timeless questions, and they are urgent questions right now. We are at Tuskegee to sign a historic MOU today because together we hope to provide answers to the impoverished and marginalized farmers of our generation, just as Washington and Carver did in theirs. The faculty and students here at Tuskegee have the expertise to help hundreds of millions of smallholder farmers, most of them women and most of them African, who currently toil to escape the grips of hunger and poverty. Because we at USAID understand what has long helped fuel the mission on this campus, growth in agriculture is nearly 4 times more effective in reducing poverty than growth in other sectors. It is this shared recognition that first sparked a partnership between Tuskegee and USAID nearly 3 decades ago. USAID has benefited from the work we have done with Tuskegee since 1995. It is work through which scientists here have authorized studies on everything from improving access to livestock farming in Burkina Faso to strengthening soil health in rural communities in Ecuador. In 2012, when the Obama-Biden administration launched Feed the Future, a multi-year, multi-billion-dollar global hunger and food security initiative, our relationship entered a new phase, the next phase. Working with Feed the Future Innovation Labs, USAID-funded research programs based at land-grant universities and focused on agricultural breakthroughs, Tuskegee has worked directly with farmers in countries like Tanzania and Ghana to improve the agricultural and nutritional yields of their crops. One of those projects, overseen by your Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Chana Prakash, helped educate Tanzanian women about growing and selling products made from nutritious orange sweet potatoes to combat malnutrition, echoing some of the earliest work of Dr. Carver himself. But the truth is, though we have done some good work with Tuskegee in the past, we have not done quite enough to enlist Tuskegee's faculty and students and those at other HBCUs into the work of global agriculture. We haven't put your experts in the lead of USAID-funded global development research projects. And in fact, we haven't even circulated proposals or reached out to faculty about opportunities in the same way we have at the institutions we are more used to working with, and we have worked with for longer periods of time, predominantly white institutions. Despite the massive overlap that exists between the curricula and talent at HBCUs like this one, and the needs that exist out there in the world, USAID staff have reported that they have little knowledge of the research expertise that resides here. So the burden ends up being on faculty here to find their way in the very, very difficult labyrinth of funding research proposals and other matters. It is a familiar story. We at USAID know what we know. We know what we already know. And it takes work and time and intentionality to access new domains and get the most out of them. Despite the well-known drive and expertise of your students and researchers, we also have not been doing enough to recruit from, partner with, and initiate research projects with our nation's historically Black colleges and universities and other minority-serving institutions. This, in the end, makes our agency less effective than it otherwise can be. When we don't harness the creative thinking and innovation of institutions like Tuskegee sufficiently, because again, we are in partnership, but we can do more, we imperil our global fight against poverty. It's that simple. Ask any person working in global development how they got their start, and they will tell you that the experience they got through internships or research projects as an undergraduate were critical. That's certainly true of me. We are missing out on an opportunity to engage tomorrow's development leaders today. Under this new MOU, we are seeking to deepen the relationship between USAID and Tuskegee in new ways. First, we will expand outreach through informational workshops and forums to inform Tuskegee faculty and students about USAID's work and research partnership opportunities, and to offer counsel on how to be successful applicants. It's not that easy. We will also regularly connect with students to share job openings, internships, and other work opportunities. I've had the chance to interact with 3 students just so far, but I haven't yet made the hard sell. That's coming, just so you know. But what an impressive group of young people you have here on this campus. We will advise Tuskegee faculty on curriculum for the creation of at least 2 development courses to teach the issues USAID deals with every day, like climate change and rising food prices. Today's MOU signing is about expanding access to opportunities that can connect your love of learning, research, and service to our shared mission of ending global water insecurity, hunger, malnutrition, and poverty. Before I close, I'd like to issue a very important call specifically to the students here. Whatever you are studying, please consider joining us at USAID. If you are unsure where to start, I'll just offer a few ideas. For current graduate students, the Feed the Future Innovation Lab for Crop Improvement at Cornell University launched its application for something called the Thomas Wyatt Turner Fellowship just today. Check it out. This fellowship provides students from 1890 land-grant institutions like Tuskegee a 1-year graduate student mentorship program at Cornell focused on inclusive and sustainable agricultural development. For graduating seniors, please know that USAID is doubling the number of Donald M. Payne fellowships, which pay for graduate school and allow students to work for USAID as foreign service officers after earning their master's degree. This is just an awesome program. For those students unsure of their interest or just looking to gain exposure to our work, We are dramatically expanding the number of paid internships we offer so that those opportunities are more accessible to all. On George Washington Carver's epitaph, it reads, "He could have added fortune to fame, but caring for neither, he found happiness and honor in being helpful to the world." Being helpful to the world, contained in that simple ambition, is the potential for a wildly rewarding life. An opportunity to uplift the underserved at the very time when the problems they face would benefit most from your skills and expertise. Around the world, COVID-19 has shut down markets, disrupted food supply chains, and increased food prices dramatically, pushing tens of millions of people into extreme poverty and hunger. Climate change continues to devastate agriculture, dry up critical water sources, and subject people to untold human misery through fiercer hurricanes, wildfires, droughts, and floods. You know all this. The MOU we will sign today and the closer partnership it will usher in between USAID and Tuskegee can result in solutions that rise to meet these challenges. This is a chance to extend the legacy of Washington and Carver and so many other legions of Tuskegee's Black leaders and thinkers to the overlooked and marginalized farmers worldwide who battle against hunger, lack access to the nutritious food their kids need, and remain trapped in lives of impoverished struggle while temperatures rise and fields dry up. If you see this global battle as your chance to be helpful to the world, we want to help you fulfill the call. Together, we can cultivate a world that is more free, prosperous, and equitable, a world where the underserved are uplifted. Thank you so much. And with that, it is my distinct honor to introduce our final speaker this morning, the president of Tuskegee University, Dr. Charlotte Morris. Thank you.
Thank you, Administrator Powell. To Administrator Power and all those who came with her this morning, welcome to the hallowed grounds of Booker T. Washington. If you haven't been here before, that's what we always say. So we do feel that Booker T. Washington has left his imprint here, and we take it for granted sometimes, but it's still here and we enjoy it, so welcome. Thank you for that challenge. We accept the challenge, and we do look forward to working with you in this new adventure that we are starting, not for the first time. We are just improving and upgrading our relationship with USAID and moving forward with this, because we all know, as Administrator Power indicated, this started long ago during the times of Tuskegee University scientist George Washington Carver. So we want to continue this, and we've had a lot of interaction and programs funded under USAID, participated from the Department of Agriculture, from the Department of, from the School of College of Agriculture, sorry about that, and the College of Arts and Sciences, as well as the College of Veterinary Medicine on our campus. So we've had programs in Senegal, Egypt, and the Tanzania country, and we are just very proud of what we've been able to do there in terms of capacity building, and we look forward to working with you all in helping this to continue. So as I have indicated, it's part of our strategic plan, and we want to make sure that during this 5-year strategic plan that we have, that our students, all of our students, have the opportunity, whether they take advantage of it or not, to have an international experience before they leave our campus, because this is the trend of the future, and we look forward to working with you and making sure that that happens. Thank you so much.
So now is the big moment of signing the MOUs. So Morgan is going to help me with opening the presenters for the president and the administrator to actually physically sign the MOUs, which are right in front of you. So they're if you just open the presenters, there's a place for each of you to sign. And so if you would both just sign for your signature, and then we'll swap, and the other person will sign for their signature. That's great. We have a special presentation. Tuskegee University is known for our Golden Voices choir. So we have a member from the choir, Miss Shania Kelly, a freshman in the history department. Our chair of history and political science, Chair Nocham, is here. And so Shania is going to bless us with a song this morning in celebration of our recent signing of the MOU agreement. So I turn it over to Shania, Miss Shania Kelly from the TU Golden Voices Choir, a staple, a legacy of our historic university.
I was born by the river in a little tent, oh, and like that river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gon' come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too long living, but I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's up there in the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gon' come. Oh, yes, it will. Then I go to my brother, and I say, brother, help me, please. But he winds up knocking me back on my knees. There's been times when I thought I wouldn't last too long, but something keeps telling me to go along. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gon' come. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shania. And yes, the MOU represents the change that is coming in a new relationship for 2022 and beyond. So we thank you, a freshman from Tuskegee University, representing a small part of a larger group, the TU Golden Voices Choir. So we thank her for bringing us that song. And now my colleague, Dr. April Jones, is going to help me make a presentation to our guests here from the USAID team. We have some masks, some TU t-shirts, and just a few little gifts to say thank you to the administrator, thank you to Jim, Alexis, thank you particularly to Adam Barron. I think he maybe is somewhere around here. We've been working while I was in Rome, no less, to make the details of today. And we just want to say thank you for all your work. And then for the TU team, I have a little bit of something for you that I'll get to you some other time. But I haven't forgotten. I haven't forgotten about you. But the USA team has something also for us. But we'll do the TU presentations now. So, Dr. Jones, where did you go? Okay. Oh. Hi. So we'll do the administrator first. We want to present you with a T-shirt and a TU bag.
Okay, I'm gonna get my T-shirt. Thank you.
You're welcome. Long sleeve. Adam. Seems like it would make more sense for me just to come over here. Julia. And our other colleagues there, is it Isabella? Isabella? And, I'm sorry, I didn't get the, Rebecca? Isabella and Rebecca? And Artie. Thank you so much. And was there anybody else on the team that I might have forgotten?
You got us covered.
And we also have something for the driver too, so please pick up a bag for the driver and a shirt for the driver too. And thank him for working with our security. So anyways, oh, good, we're right on time. So this concludes, will the students in the room please stand up, the students, all the students who are here today. If you're a TU student, stand up and just thank you for being here. I know our team today wanted to make sure that we had students present. We have a panel discussion and lunch at 12. So if you're supposed to be on the panel or if you were invited to lunch, please stick around for lunch. And then we have a press opportunity right now. Don't we have presses now? So thank you for coming to the MOU. And I know that we had live streaming for YouTube. Were there some questions on there that we wanted to try to answer now, or are we okay for that? We're okay? Okay. We were live streaming from YouTube, and there might have been some questions, but I think we're okay for that. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, President Morris. Thank you, Administrator Power. I know some of the students might have had some books that they wanted to get signed, a few books that were going around. So our next thing is a press conference that's kind of going on over here, and then there's lunch. So, and students stick around for a lunch and the panel discussion, and some of the deans were going to stay around for that too. So, thank you so much.